Welcome to Surf All Day A1A, my YouTube channel where I talk about surfing and surf philosophy, and in this episode I will be talking about how to select a board as part of my How to Surf Florida Waves series. Please subscribe if you're not already. You can support the channel by clicking on the Amazon links in the description. Anything you buy once you click those links supports the channel and is no extra cost to you. Thanks, and enjoy picking the right board. One of the fundamental elements of surfing waves well in Florida is the ability to pick the right board. The right board can make all the difference, as you can see in this very mushy, typical Florida day. Look at how the wave finally walls up for a near closeout. That's fun. That is clearly fun. So the first question in picking the right board is, what are you trying to accomplish? And then that should guide your choice. Whether you're new to surfing or you have been surfing for a long time, now I'm going to propose something in this video which is both inexpensive and super fun, something I like to horse around with, tuck under the arm, bike down to the end of the street, no leash. In this case I had to wear a spring suit, which kind of bums me out a little. Much rather trunk it. But whether the waves are 2 foot or 3 foot, like maybe it was this day on sets, you can catch waves, and you can actually, you know how to use one of these wobbly wiggly noodles, you can get into sections you would have never imagined. As you watch me surf this typical 8-foot board, soft top board, I notice that I'm taking off after the wave broke and just getting turboed into an actual bottom turn on a wave like that. Now that's not a typical experience on a day like this, so I would say that alone is a score. But now watch how it gives me a little open face, and you can cut back, run to the nose, hope it reforms on the inside. The wave's no longer breaking, the board is still surfing, and that is what I'm talking about. What are you trying to accomplish? A lot of the days that I go out, I've got a half hour, I've got an hour, the waves are mediocre like this day, and I want to catch a bunch of waves and have a ton of fun and be able to surf whatever comes in, whether it's even super tiny. There I am catching one out the back. That wave really never had a face on it, yet I got some speed. And you can see this day the tide was dropping, so some crumblers out the back. Here's a slow-mo. You can see that's about all you're going to get out of that wave. It just for a moment occurred and then ended, but the amount of speed that you get is pretty substantial, and I probably could have connected that all the way through if I had turned it back left again. Now, one of the keys to Florida surfing is, of course, constantly repositioning, finding the shifting peak, and I'm doing that here. Take a look at the beautiful chocolate milk-like Atlantic Ocean. And here's another one. This wave, please notice, is not breaking. That hand paddling technique is important on the soft top, I would claim. Get up on the nose and double hand paddle. Let's take a look at that again. This is the kind of goofy stuff you could do on a soft top. A day like today, I'm catching a ton of waves, and you know, I'm sure it's a little frustrating for some of the other folks that aren't, but that's the idea, is you got to pick the right board for what you want to accomplish. And you know, if what you want to accomplish is wait for the really, you know, the more rare, well-formed wave on a day like today, then you wouldn't pick this board probably, because the wave would propel a smaller board that would be just as fun and as long of a ride. But on a day like today, you know, this gives you a perspective on the amount of speed that you can get paddling it. Like, this wave wasn't even really close to breaking, and I really could have stood up and rode it for a little while, just kind of let it go, because, well, why bother? And something I like to do, which, by the way, life hack 101 I would recommend to Earth, just get off your surfboard, swim to the bottom of the ocean, grab a handful of sand, come on back up, and lay on your back. Yep, and that's the exercise. And so at this point, I'll take a quick break and say please support the channel by clicking on the links to Amazon in the description. I have links to soft tops, very similar to this one, but a little less expensive than this one, I think. Better in many ways. So go ahead and use those. All right, now look at this wave, the way it is driving that board. The board really never slows down. That's the thing about the soft top, longboard specifically. And there's Jack. So I'm gonna say that was a bad pass. Again, looking, those inside nugs are definitely desirable, and with the longboard soft top like this, it transforms the way you can ride them. It almost, to me, it always seems like it kind of slows down the speed of the whole surfing experience in a way that is really fun and different. Here's the old whitewater takeoff, and fizzled out. Big crumbly set out the back. Well, not that big. Again, we're going to take the whitewater takeoffs, and going to definitely fail on that one now. I always say no leash. But, of course, that has an obvious effect. Now, this illustrates one of the other great benefits of a soft top surfboard, and that is that it is very tough generally, and is the kind of thing you don't mind that it is ground into the beach repeatedly. And that's certainly happened in this case, and has happened to it hundreds and hundreds of times, and it keeps surfing just as well. So they're tough, and they go for generally about $200, let's say. You know, you might get a deal, might get one that's a little more, but in that ballpark. Got to have one in the collection as far as I'm concerned, and if you're going to have one, it should be a big, thick longboard, certainly. And I don't know if you've ever brought one of these boards down to the beach with a bunch of kids around on a 1 foot day in Florida, but it is a joy to behold, and it is also super fun. Now look at that, my neighborly deed, throwing the old surfboard back out for the quick retrieve. Look at that. Again, typical day. So one of the keys to surfing waves near you is to have the right board. Not the right board for the perfect day if you don't have a lot of perfect days. And where I live, I don't have a lot of perfect, so-called perfect days. I think they're perfect because I practice the art of stoicism, stoic philosophy. Which, if you're interested in that, go check out my OneStepZen channel, by the way. Put a tag here. Just go to that. But the majority of days are going to be able to be fulfilled by a board very similar to this. Let's face it, it's not a revolutionary design. It's basically a longboard, and that is a tried and true design. Again, you can get them very inexpensively. I provide links in the description. Please use that if you're looking to get something like this. By the way, it's the right time to do it. Now it's a little before spring, right? So summer's coming. Let's get in that water. Let's get out there. Let's take the stoic view of the world that it is the perspective you bring to things which define your joy, friends. Please subscribe to Surf All Day A1A, and thanks for watching.